There are almost no takers for the Pakistani perspective on what's happening in Jammu and Kashmir. In fact, questions are now being raised about what's happening in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir and in Gilgit and Baltistan, both parts of Jammu and Kashmir in illegal occupation of Pakistan. Now, the issue is Pakistan spooked because of peace returning to the Kashmir Valley? Remember, Jammu is celebrating, Ladakh is celebrating, internet services restored partially both in Jammu and in Ladakh. In Kashmir, phone lines have been restored, certain restrictions have been eased. Is that why Pakistan is panicking, and is that why Pakistan is behaving in this manner?
कश्मीर की जो डिस्प्यूट है ये एक न्यूक्लियर फ्लैश पॉइंट है।
A defeated and rattled Pakistan continues its nuclear fear-mongering. A day after Pakistan's biggest gambit on Kashmir failed at the United Nations Security Council, Islamabad is back to its nuclear saber-rattling.
कश्मीर की जो डिस्प्यूट है ये एक न्यूक्लियर फ्लैश पॉइंट है। वी आर टू स्ट्रेटेजिकली कैपेबल कंट्रीज जिसमें कन्वेंशनल वॉर की स्पेस नहीं है, लेकिन जिस तरफ इंडिया जा रहा है तो यही तो इशू दुनिया को समझने की बात है कि हमारे और इंडिया के दरमियान कोई ऐसी बात होती है तो वेयर विल इट लीड टू। तो समझदार ममालिक इसकी बात नहीं करते, उन्होंने बात की है, लेकिन देयर इज अ रियलिटी, देयर इज अ सिचुएशन।
On Friday, overwhelming numbers at the UN Security Council maintained that Jammu and Kashmir was a bilateral issue between India and Pakistan. A huge setback to Islamabad's efforts to internationalize the issue.
Is testimony to the fact that this is an internationally recognized dispute.
Matters related to Article 370 of the Indian Constitution are entirely an internal matter.
Boxed in a corner, a spooked Pakistan tried to take refuge in history. Pakistan's Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi found faults with Prime Minister Narendra Modi and lamented that independent India's first Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru's ideas were forgotten.
जो हिंदुस्तान का चेहरा दुनिया देख रही है, ये नेहरू का हिंदुस्तान नहीं है, ये नरेंद्र मोदी का हिंदुस्तान है, और दोनों में जमीन और आसमान का दिन और रात का फर्क है।
Pakistan also blamed the National Security Advisor Ajit Doval and complained about the Doval Doctrine.
अब जो हिंदुस्तान की हिकमत अमली है और जिस हिकमत अमली से वो आगे बढ़ रहे हैं, वो एक डॉक्ट्रिन है जिसको डोवाल डॉक्ट्रिन कहते हैं, और उसके गिर्द घूम रही है। चौंक गया हिंदुस्तान कि ये क्या हुआ।
Pakistan, however, desperately hopes some voices within India will continue to bat for Islamabad.
आज जो हिंदुस्तान की हमें शक्ल दिखाई दे रही है, और ये आवाजें अब हिंदुस्तान से आनी शुरू हो गई हैं कि मोदी सरकार ने नेहरू के हिंदुस्तान को दफन कर दिया है।
A peaceful Kashmir is Pakistan's worst nightmare, something that Pakistan's military jihad complex can ill afford. This explains Pakistan's desperation to fuel unrest in Jammu and Kashmir. Bureau Report, India Today. Incidentally, what we're also being told is that Pakistan has imposed its equivalent of Section 144 in some of its territories where it's combating terror. So we will expose how Pakistan plays a double game. It speaks with a forked tongue. Joining me on the broadcast is Senge Sering. Senge Sering is a very well-respected voice from Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. He is from Gilgit and Baltistan, currently in Washington, D.C. Sir, welcome on India Today. Before I come to Senge Sering, I want to take our viewers through what's happening in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. how over the years Pakistan has very systematically changed the demographic profile, not just of areas in and around Muzaffarabad in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, but also in the Shia-dominated Gilgit and Baltistan, part of Jammu and Kashmir, what Pakistan calls its northern areas. Protests in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir's Gilgit and Baltistan area against the illegal occupation and atrocities by the Pakistan Army. This isn't an isolated protest. Since 1947, there have been a series of protests against the Pakistan Army, not only illegally occupying a part of Jammu and Kashmir, but also deliberately changing the demographic profile of the region.
Every time something happens on our side, we must always address it to say that this effect is also going to have a radical effect on the other side. But the issue is, on the other side, the complete demography has changed. Pakistan has very cleverly changed the complete demography of so-called Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, Gilgit-Baltistan.
In 1974, Pakistan brought out the notorious resettlement law under Zulfikar Ali Bhutto. Under the resettlement law, state subject rule in Gilgit and Baltistan was abrogated. This allowed for settlement of people from Pakistan's Punjab province and other regions in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. It changed the demographic profile of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. In 1970, Gilgit and Baltistan had been merged into centrally administered northern areas. Pakistan Army also moved thousands of Pashtuns from what is now known as the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa area and changed the Shia profile of Gilgit and Baltistan. Similarly, Pakistan Army settled a number of retired soldiers and rangers originally from Pakistan's Punjab province in and around Muzaffarabad to change the demographic profile of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir.
Now Pakistan trying to annex Gilgit-Baltistan as its fifth province, that is illegal and against international laws, against the UN resolutions on Kashmir, and against the constitution of Pakistan as well. Pakistani constitution says that Gilgit-Baltistan and so-called Azad Kashmir are the part of former princely state of Jammu and Kashmir.
In 1948, Shias constituted 84% of the population of Gilgit and Baltistan. By 2011, Shias were down to 39% and Sunnis up to 31%. Late military dictator General Ziaul Haq had started the conscious policy of changing the demographic profile of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. The Pakistan Army also usurped most of the rights of the people of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir for the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor passing through Gilgit and Baltistan. From 2006, students from Gilgit and Baltistan in PoK sought IIT and IIM-like colleges even in PoK. Some even wrote to Government of India seeking a reservation at IITs and IIMs for students from Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Sadly, government has not focused much on Pakistan deliberately changing demographic profile in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Bureau Report, India Today. And I want to quickly bring in Senge Sering. He is from Gilgit-Baltistan, so-called northern areas of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Senge Sering, I want to understand from you. You've seen Pakistan's protests on Article 370. Pakistan's gone to the United Nations. It's gone crying to China. It's gone to OIC. Has Pakistan respected the rights of the people of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, including Gilgit and Baltistan, sir?
Thank you, Gaurav, for taking me live on your program right now. You see, what Pakistan was used to is the entire world paying attention to the Kashmir Valley, and for a long time, Pakistan was very comfortable that nobody is noticing what is going on in the occupied parts in what they call AJK and Gilgit-Baltistan. The fact remains that Pakistan has been violating all the laws and all the regulations that it expects India to uphold in the valley or in Jammu and Ladakh.
Sir, we want to understand from you, how has Pakistan violated these laws? Specifically, has Pakistan changed the demographic profile of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir and Gilgit and Baltistan?
So from 1950s onward, Pakistan has been informally letting its machinery, the bureaucrats and the rulers, to allot land for themselves and for Pakistanis. And then in 1970s, when Bhutto came into power, he kind of made it formal through bureaucracy, and since then Pakistanis had been settled very systematically along the Karakoram Highway. This is their particular concern, the Karakoram Highway. That is the only link with China, and they think it's very vulnerable as far as, India's position on Gilgit-Baltistan is concerned. So they want to change demography along the Karakoram Highway, and then in 1988, a big attack happened under Zia regime,
yes,
where thousands of Pakistanis, they attacked Gilgit-Baltistan and they burned local villages along the Karakoram Highway. And their main intention was to push the local population further away from the Karakoram Highway, or force them to flee and then bring in their own people. And to some extent,
specifically in the areas of Gilgit and Baltistan, the area from where China-Pakistan Economic Corridor passes, did Pakistan get a lot of tribals from the Khyber, what is now the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa region, Pashtuns from that area, Sunni Muslims, to come and settle down in that area so that Shia Muslim population would be in a minority as per some kind of a conspiracy? Is that true?
Well, we believe that the systematic settlement that is happening along the Karakoram Highway is part of the larger scheme that Pakistan is planning to change local demography. So it's very intentional, and you can call it a conspiracy against the local people. The Amir district has a huge influx of Pakistanis. Then we see Pakistanis settling in Sakwar and Manavar and Padi Bangla and some parts of Basin and Konadas. And these areas, these are the hub from where the local roads lead towards Afghanistan and China. So this is where their main focus is.
Okay.
And they're bringing in a lot of Pakistanis to be settled.
Okay. And this is also happening in and around Muzaffarabad, opposite Uri on our side. Even in and around Muzaffarabad, has Pakistan changed the demographic profile, got people from Pakistan's Punjab province, retired rangers, retired soldiers? Is that true?
I've heard that and read that a lot of land allotment that has happened has been awarded to the ex-Pakistani military personnel. But we should also bring into consideration that people have been given lease for mineral exploration and exploitation, for marble cutting and industry development, for gem and precious stone exploration. And these are all Pakistanis who come to either PoK, POJK, or Gilgit-Baltistan, occupied Gilgit-Baltistan. And recently, a minister from Gilgit-Baltistan, he admitted that more than 100 leases have been awarded to outsiders without his permission or even his, any kind of information that probably he had about that. So what is happening is that Pakistani bureaucracy is taking a land allocation as well as natural resource allocation into their own hands and giving it to the outsiders like the Chinese as well as the Pakistanis who come in and invest in Gilgit-Baltistan and PoK.
What about education and healthcare in Gilgit, in Baltistan, in Muzaffarabad, in all of PoK? Do they have good healthcare? Do they have good college education, higher education, good infrastructure for the people? Or is it all exploited by people from mainland Pakistan in PoK, POJK?
I would say the less mentioned, the better. It's an embarrassment for Pakistan after 70 years of sheer exploitation. Pakistan has failed to invest in education and health of the local people. It has handed over Gilgit-Baltistan to non-profit organizations, and local people are paying school fees out of their pockets. A lot of private schools have established, but if you go to the government schools, and their local reports are available online, which shows how desperate the situation is, and teachers are on the road protesting because they do not have salaries paid for 6 months, a year in a row, and schools do not have windows or doors. They don't have any chairs where kids could sit, and they don't have any school supplies. The last entire year, 2018, the school children had to spend, their time without school books. So government spending is very much reserved for infrastructure building, for strategic and defense purposes, and as well as the Chinese interest are protected, and a lot of money is going. It's very selective when it comes to taking care of local people. We do not see much money spent on local people.
And Pakistan, that claims to champion the cause of Jammu and Kashmir, or especially just Kashmir, is completely silent on China taking over a major chunk from Pakistan, and completely silent about whatever China is doing, including, jackboots on the rights of people of Gilgit and Baltistan.
I mean, you should not be surprised. Pakistani Prime Minister, where almost 1 million Uyghurs are in concentration camp, and he says he even doesn't know about them. That country has awarded almost 10,000 square kilometers of Gilgit-Baltistan to China. They remained silent when China invaded Aksai Chin in 1962 and occupied it, almost 38,000 square kilometers right there. So Pakistan is very much in cahoots with China when it comes to reorganization of Jammu and Kashmir, and I don't think it has any moral or ethical room to talk about these issues when it comes to India extending its constitution, providing constitutional rights to its citizens.
Absolutely, Senge Sering, and the question remains, why is it that Pakistan's atrocities in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir and Gilgit-Baltistan haven't been highlighted adequately so far? But many, many thanks for joining us here on India Today, and we'll be tracking this.
Thank you so much for having me.
We will be tracking developments on the story very closely.
You are watching India Today.